lovelies, and welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. Today, you are in my kitchen and we are going to make some quick dinner. We're going to make a quick vegetable-based dinner dish. And what I'm going to make today is something that is probably growing in your garden. If you have a kitchen garden, you're probably growing this, right? So I'm going to make this, and I've kept it. I've done a little bit of a prep, so I've chopped it ahead of time, but I will also show you how I prep everything so that you will be able to be ready to jump in with me and we can make it together. How about that, right? So I'm just gonna say a quick hello to Andrew Rosenberg who's watching, Claire Inglis, welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen, and to Sarla. So this is what we're making today, and I've done a little bit of the prep. As you know, this thing, when you buy it in the supermarket, it comes in little bunches like this. So what I do is I trim the two ends, and then I cut them in a cluster. And then I save the last part so that I can put it in my stir fries just for a different kind of a texture, so I don't use all of it. And this is what they look like. This is how long they are. Okay? So this is something that I've already prepped, and I've cut it into small pieces, as you can see. Some of them actually have the mature red beans inside, and that's totally fine. It's completely edible, so you can eat it. Okay, right here. So these are the fresh beans, and it's completely edible, so really no problem with that. Now the predominant flavor in this dish is really more of garlic rather than anything else, and so I'm going to keep it really simple. Hot pan, some oil. I have some garlic that I've grated right here, and this is about 6 cloves. In goes the garlic. If you like it more or less, you can always tweak it to your taste. And you don't want to overcook or burn the garlic in this case. Let me actually see if you can see it properly. Yep, I think we are good now. And you'll start to smell it, like as the garlic releases its aroma and its sweetness into the oil, you really will be able to smell it. I'm putting in a tiny bit of a white onion, finely chopped. Since onion is not the predominant flavor in this, it just is used to give it a little bit of a texture, to give the stir fry a little bit of a base to bite into. I've also taken 1 Idaho potato and cut it really small, as you can see. Right? So whenever you cut something, 2 different kinds of vegetables and you're cooking them together, be aware of their cooking times. So let's say if you're making eggplant with potatoes, then you have to make the potatoes rather small because the eggplant cooks fairly quickly. If you're making cauliflower with potato, you have to keep the potato sizes to a medium size because the cauliflower and potatoes pretty much cook around the same time in terms of getting tender. So before I put the beans, I'm actually going to put the potatoes because I feel like if it gets a little bit of a searing, then it just tastes better in any stir fry dish. This is how big they are. They're not too big, not too small. And this is just 1 Idaho potatoes. So you can do less or more. I am a potato lover, but I'm really trying to watch how much potato I eat. So I've tried to make a conscious effort to not put them in each and every vegetable that I cook. Okay, so we're going to give it a quick stir. And of course I am going to need some salt, which I can now find when I need it. I will also be using asafetida, which is what we call in Hindi hing. So really quickly, and you can see the onions have started browning, the garlic has started browning. I'm going to put in all of the long beans. Give it a good toss. And always try to lift your stir fries from the bottom. Don't try to go like this. Just lift it from the bottom and scoop it over the top. Lift from the bottom and bring to the top. So that helps to maintain the shape of your vegetables. I always like to use a silicone spatula only because it doesn't damage the pan that I'm working with. Give it a good toss. In goes the asafoetida. This is again optional. If you don't like the taste of it, you can skip it. If you want to skip garlic and onions, then you can just use asafoetida as a substitute. I'm going to add some salt. Of course, I eyeball everything. Why not, right? Paprika. This is only for color. Some turmeric powder. Goes in everything that I make. And let's see, some coriander powder, which has gotten mixed with the turmeric powder, which is totally fine. And a little bit of curry powder, just a little. And then some garam masala. If you don't have 1 or 2 or 3 of the spices that I put, even if you just have salt and turmeric and black pepper, I would still encourage you to go ahead and make it. It tastes really good and it's a very fresh dish. In fact, these beans were so fresh when I was cutting them, it actually smelled more like, you know how you smell the grass when you're mowing the lawn? It really had that kind of a smell. So it's super duper fresh. So try to eat fresh plant-based food, especially nowadays. Everybody's got to watch. Now you can see this is pretty dry, right? The bottom of the pan is really, really dry. Adelina, hello, and welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making long beans. So we're doing long beans with a potato stir fry. We're doing a very quick recipe. I started out with hot oil and some grated garlic. You can see how the garlic is sticking to the bottom. So there's 2 ways that you can fix that. You can either put a little bit of water and deglaze everything, or you can use fresh tomatoes, which are actually in abundance right now. And I've cut them really coarsely, right? They're coarsely chopped. This is just 1 tomato. All the juice and everything. Just give it a good toss. And as soon as the tomatoes hit the pan, it starts to work with the salt that you added. It will release some of its moisture. We can cover it briefly for a little bit. And I'm also going to get about a half a cup of water that I'm going to add to this, okay? So it's going to help to deglaze the pan a little bit. Hello, Deborah. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are making long beans with potato. Okay, so I'm just going to... So this water actually helps to create the steam in which these beans are going to cook. You see, immediately it starts to get to work. And you just give it a good toss. So this is a very simple dish that I make for lunch or dinner. And you can make it as a stir fry. You can put it in your fridge and you can eat it either in a grain bowl or on top of rice with a cup of yogurt. Or you can just put it inside a tortilla and eat it like a wrap. There are just so many ways to do this, right? Just scraping off anything extra that's sticking to here so that it will go right back to where it needs to be. That's that. So I personally love all kinds of greens and all kinds of beans. So I do flat beans, broad beans, French beans, long beans. I also do some frozen, like bean, you know, the frozen packets that you get. And sometimes my easiest hack is I take a block of frozen spinach and I take a block of frozen beans and I just put it in there and let it simmer with some ginger and some turmeric. So yeah, so this is going to do its thing. So there are 2 ways that you can actually steam up your vegetables and create the heat to make it tender. You will know this is done when the potatoes are soft enough that you'll be able to cut through them, right? So let's say this is your potato. Let me show you the difference between now and then. Obviously when it gets done, it'll be different. So right now, I cannot cut through it. And I'm using the back of the knife because I don't want the sharp edge of the knife to do the cutting. I want to make sure that they're tender. So this is completely hard right now. And you'll know that your vegetable is fully cooked when all the water evaporates and your potatoes are tender. If you see the water evaporating first and you still find that the potatoes have a little bit of give to them and they're not quite tender yet, you can go ahead and add a little more water and cover this pan back up so that it will continue to cook the potatoes and make them nice and tender. I will do a quick finishing with some cilantro, but I also like to add it during the process of cooking. This one is actually looking pretty sad, sitting in my fridge. I think it's just the temperature is a little too cold for it, even though I wrapped it in paper towels and everything. So I'm going to put a little bit now, and then I will put more just before serving up the dish. If you'd like to learn to cook any of these simple Indian vegetables, you can always enroll for one of my classes. The website to enroll is www.queenscurrykitchen.com. And of course, if you like to eat Indian food and you live in New York, you can subscribe to our meal delivery service on the same page, queenscurrykitchen.com, and you can get 3 or 6 dishes and you can be eating really well for the rest of the week. Now this flame is between medium and a high, and I'm going to give it about 10 to 12 minutes for it to do the magic, and then it should be ready to eat. I will be making nice soft rotis, but also today on the menu I will be making a pumpkin curry right now. And after that I'm going to take a shot at making mapo tofu, which is from a ready-made sauce bag that I bought from the Asian grocery store. So these are my 3 projects that I'm tackling right now. I will keep you posted on how the end product looks like, and if you follow my page, I will put a picture of the bean with the potato stir fry so that you'll get a sense of what it looked like. But this is how you make it. I hope you will give it a try. It's really not that complicated. Sometimes people just attach a lot of stress to trying to make Indian food at home or trying to eat plant-based food. Even if you don't have all the spices, if you just have salt and turmeric and ginger, or just salt and pepper, just do it, but get it done and learn to eat more greens on your plate. So that's what I try to preach, that's what I try to practice. I am not perfect, we are all a work in progress, of course, like you all know. But if you have any Indian food related questions that you would like to throw my way, you can always reach me through the messenger or through leaving a comment on this video down below. And if you have any friends and family who would like to learn how to cook Indian food at home, which is just simple and doesn't call for 50,000 ingredients, definitely redirect them to like and share my page. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you're having a great weekend. I will see you very soon in the next one, because I'm about to jump into making the pumpkin curry in just a bit. So I hope that you will come back for the next live, but until then, be blissful, be flavorful, and I hope that you live joyfully from the inside out. I'm sending many blessings for your protection, for your safety, and for your good health. Yes, we all need it. So I'm praying for you. I hope that you will pray for someone else and pay it forward. Like always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. If you have been ordering my food from the Queen's Curry Kitchen weekly meal delivery, a big thank you to you. Your support at this time, it really, really means a lot to me. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back with more such videos so that you can keep the love of Indian flavors going. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, goodbye and God bless.